Good evening. Welcome to the Pizza Roundtable, part of the I Need Pizza Club, where we talk about the best pizza news and happenings for the week. I am your host, Jim Mumford, joined by my co-host, Anna Crucitt. Anna, good evening. How are you?
Hey, good evening. Everything's going well on my end. How are
Yeah,
you?
great. We've got some good articles. It's a good evening to talk about pizza, and it seems like we just talked, but the week flew by, and happy to get into some. We've got the range this evening. We really do.
I'm excited to get into it.
Nice. Well, let's get into the first one. This is the most controversial, and we're just gonna dive right in and not hesitate. So this comes to us courtesy of Travel and Leisure. This is the number one destination for pizza in the U.S. No, it is not New York or Chicago. Move over New York. New Hampshire is taking the pizza spotlight. And the first reaction.
I didn't see that one coming.
No, I can assure you, neither did I.
Like Kansas City. I was trying to think of where else would be.
I'll get into this, and for all fairness, right? I've been to New Hampshire. I've had some good pizza. I've been to House of Pizzas. There's some good pies there. But when you think about the mecca of the diversity in the New York area, right? Chicago and Detroit coming up. Heck, even New Haven, we give them a hard time, but I'm still giving them top 10, right? But the 2023 Harris poll found that pizza is the favorite food of 21% of Americans. I don't think that's controversial. But so they looked at number of pizzerias per 100,000 residents, along with people's interest in pizza. They used Google Analytics, and they said that New Hampshire is the ultimate destination for pizza lovers. It works out to just over 72 pizzerias per 100,000 people. So, it looks like they're going by logistics. There's a lot more pizzerias there per residence, which I'm actually shocked, right?
That's shocking. That's
I
a
would have
lot.
that's a lot, right? I mean, I'm not a math major, but that's like close to like one in 1,200 people,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy. So, and they do note it's a wallet friendly price. Average pizza is just under $16. So I understand how they got here. Now there's a quantity versus quality argument that one can have, certainly. But other pizza loving states, Ohio, I'm not really shocked with that. Ohio's pretty big, and then Delaware. Again, I think I'm a little shocked by Delaware, probably by the same mechanics, and then of course Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, I can get behind. There's some really good pizza there. I can confirm. And then we're gonna round it out with Michigan. Yeah, I really interesting. This one, I love this article because they get you the headline like New Hampshire got here, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. I would have never, I mean, you would have just asked me that. New Hampshire wouldn't have been my first choice or first five
30.
choices.
Yeah, I would have said it would have been like Alaska first, maybe before that. But and don't get me wrong,
No,
I
seriously.
seriously like I've had some good pizza in New Hampshire. They've got some good pies there. They've got some good people there. But I just surprising, but yeah,
That's a
interesting.
lot of
Good.
pizzerias. I just,
That's a
I
lot.
constantly like trying to analyze numbers here and how much you'd have to make and how much you'd have to I'm curious if is it a lot of chains? Is it a lot of mom and pop? You know?
Again, I was there once. Like I said, I went to the House of Pizzas, which are kind of small, right? Mom and pop places. But the only way where I think that makes sense is you have a lot of, I want to say, gas station chains, right? Where you've got, a lot of throughput. That I can see that can make sense. But again, I don't think there's a lot of like road tourism through. So interesting. I don't know. It definitely an interesting article, an interesting piece.
It's a good day to be from New Hampshire.
It is. Well, along the same lines, and maybe this explains some of it. So, you know, uh, when you go to New York, I'm sure you love getting a New York slice, and to me, nothing says New York slice like Sbarro, right? And Pizza Marketplace reports that Sbarro, the famed New York pizza empire, has
Yeah.
just hit 800 restaurants. Sbarro fan, big fan, little fan, had it before.
I've had it and I'm a fan. It's not my like favorite style of pizza. I think it's good for what it is and I think that they have like really led the market and very impressive with how they turn out pizzas. They're the first that I know kind of do it in that line, but To be honest with you, I feel like they're going to be, coming around 800. I would have said that there were probably more 800 if you would have asked me. I'm surprised it's only 800.
Kind of same, right? I read that, milestone, they've gone global, which is huge. But yeah, if you ask me, I mean, you would think every kind of rest stop, every corner you think has one. I would have said thousands,
Right.
right?
Well, I mean, there's like what, 17,000 Pizza Huts? So like 800 Sbarros is not that
Nothing.
many. I mean, it's a lot.
Nothing. It's a lot, but when you put them, especially how big a regional chain that is.
Right.
So, yeah, interesting. And yeah, listen, Sbarro Pizza's not hurting anyone, right? It's kind of that fast slice kind of niche. They've been around forever. I didn't realize that they had had such a foothold. But yeah, just really interesting. And they talk about growth strategy and how they're going to grow. But yeah, I'm glad you said that.
I see them growing. I see the whole, the walk-up window slice shop concept, single serve is really big right now. I mean, I see it in Pittsburgh. There aren't any Sparrows here outside of perhaps a mall or some type of, yeah, not in my regional area of northern Pittsburgh, but that concept that they have with like being able to just grab a slice, grab a meal, buy a pizza is really coming to, so I see them being able to like capitalize on that.
Yeah, I love that perspective, right? Because you see how food costs are growing, right? And just the willingness to buy a whole pie, especially when a whole pie is $30, $40, and some scenarios is probably winning, right? If everyone kind of wants what they want, get your own slice concept, can be really interesting. And listen, New York thinks it's everywhere, but you get in the Midwest, it's not a thing.
It's not it. There's a couple of places that do it here. Um, but I can name them. Like it's not just like you can walk in and grab a slice, but slice on Broadway, slice of New York, you can do them. In our area, not really. You generally just order by the slice. But even in my restaurant, people coming in for single serve cups, like having prepackaged pints, that has taken off.
Oh,
Being
interesting.
able to order smaller quantities, like more of different flavors.
You're telling me a quart's not single serve of your gelato? Because I would disagree personally, but no, that is interesting, right? And you're seeing it even outside of pizza. Well, you had the world's best segue, so I'm just going to take that opportunity and not let it go. Pizza Today. So, Slice on Broadway, you mentioned them, a great slice shop in your area, wins world's best cheese slice. So, obviously, you're familiar, Chef Anna. Tell us about Slice on Broadway. Tell us about Chris Osapenko. What are they doing there?
They are, I'm not even sure how many locations they have, but quite a few. And they have they have a great pizza. It is similar to what I was talking about. You can walk in, order pizza, some tables. It's really great. I live probably 15 minutes from one, so it's not like relative to all of the pizza that could come to me, but they
Sure.
do deliver over to my area, which is great. But yeah, I was really impressed with this. And it was all over Pittsburgh news, which I was so excited for them, excited to see it, just getting the recognition for it. This is
Yeah.
a hard competition.
This is a
Like the
hard.
amount of talent in that competition and then to win it just says so much about your pizza.
Yeah, so many things to comment. So really cool, right? They're certainly in your neighborhood, and that's wonderful. And I think you nailed it. Explain to us why just a plain cheese slice is so hard to compete and so hard.
It's because every ingredient has to speak for itself. And it's the line on it is just like it's so thin. Did you oversalt it? Did you overcook it? Did you put too much cheese? Was there not enough oregano? Or did the flavors not talk to each other? And then on top of it, you're talking about like the way that it feels in your mouth, but then also like was there too much water? Was there not enough water? Did it have the right hold when you're picking it up? And then was there enough chew to it? Was there, all of the things that make a pizza good, and there's nothing to mask it. You
Nowhere to
can't
hide.
stick any sausage, you can't put something on it to say like, oh, you might miss it, or, that ingredient is why it was this way. But a cheese slice that's a hard one. I would be intimidated to compete in that.
So obviously I'm not a chef like you. I don't compete, but I'll do a pizza party at home, right? I'll do all sorts of toppings. I'll do a cheese for the kiddos, right? And that's always the hardest one. I'm always so nervous because, right, you can't hide, right? Every element shines. Now, if it's great, it's transcendent.
Okay.
But you and the window, right? Again, the cook time and all the variables, and you say it's so few ingredients, and everyone's making the same thing, right? So I could tell you as a judge, that would be a nightmare to judge because everything's the same. So you're in the minutia of each thing. So trust me, judging, I've done like chili cook-offs and they're the worst, right? Because everything's the same. And at that point, judging is very hard. Winning, competing is terrible, like you said.
Yeah, it's really impressive. And then, because people ask me, they know I'm in pizza. Did they really win? Like, was it really that good? It's like,
Yeah, I mean, you have to be, right? I mean, just doesn't happen. That's not a fluke.
yeah,
You
no,
don't fluke it, especially that category. You don't fluke into it.
that category in that competition, I will say the International Pizza Challenge is a very hard competition from the ones that I've gone to or watched or competed in. It's a very good competition. And of all the categories, like for me, if I wasn't going to compete Neapolitan, like I'd probably like non-traditional. You kind of have your options.
You can
You have
express
your
yourself more.
options, your creative options in it, but best cheese slice, it's like you got one shot on that.
You got one shot. Exactly. And you can't hide behind toppings or anything like, I don't know, excessively large pepperoni. Right. So, again, nailing the segues this evening. Papa John's. So, Eat This Not Jet That reports Papa John's bring back a fan favorite pizza this month with the Chacaroni. So I think we talked about this. You're not big on Papa John's. I'm not either. But are you familiar with the Chacaroni?
No,
No.
no, I'm
So
not familiar.
the Chacaroni pizza, created, of course, by Shaquille O'Neal. So what is it? It's basically extra cheese, extra pepperoni, extra large slices. So basically, it's absolutely loaded with pepperoni. I think the pepperoni is actually bigger, extra cheese, and it's special available as of yesterday, and for $12.99, which they say is an extra special deal. So the why this was notable to me, right, is you see kind of the gimmicks, right? And everyone's kind of been playing the game, right? We talked about, what Little Caesars doing and Domino's and Pizza Hut with the pizza caviar, right? And I thought it was interesting for Papa John just to kind of go back to a
Mhm.
5-year-old gimmick, right? There's nothing remarkable, right? They're not reinventing the pizza world. They're just putting more pepperoni on it and partnering with the basketball star, right? So I thought this was an interesting entrant just because it kind of felt easy, right? They hit an easy button, but maybe just it's things they already had that's easy to process. But I don't know, it felt weak compared to some of the other kind of gimmicks that some of the chains have been doing.
It's almost like they were trying to lead with something that wasn't a gimmick.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
we're just making a large pizza with large pepperoni and lots of like isn't that just what you do anyway? Why is it different?
yeah, that's a good point. Maybe there's rebundling life as is, right, and just having Shaq put his face on it. Which,
Right. And I'm
again,
also
when I think pizza, I think Shaquille O'Neal, which is always an odd pairing. But
yeah, I don't
yeah,
think it. But I bet somebody made a lot of money
yeah.
doing that.
Well, I'm sure that and Icy Hot, right? He'd endorse anything. So
Not him, I just meant the person who came up with the
yeah,
concept probably made a lot of money, and
clearly Shaq did. That's why his
why it
name's
wasn't
on it.
me? Just make your pepperoni bigger.
I, so I will say, and I know you said you don't have pepperoni in your shop ever. I do like a good hand cut pepperoni or deli pepperoni to mix it up with the textures or have multiple on it. So I will give them, I'll give them credit where it's due. The standard paper thin pepperoni, all the shit, I'm over it. Right, we can do better and treat the ingredient with the old world in the cup and
Mhm.
jar, and it's more we can do. So I will give them that.
That's good.
All right, one more article to go before I get into it. So, how can people, this is obviously leading the next article, how can people order pizza at your shop? What options are available? Call, internet, walk in?
They can order online and they can order at the counter. They can come in and dine in and they can sit down to order. We are not on any delivery platforms and I don't have any anticipation of doing that. But yeah, so most people, it depends on the location. Locations turn their phones off so that nobody can call because it's kind of disruptive if you're like with a guest and then you have to answer the phone all the time. And most people are just conditioned to order online. So that's really like our number one way of orders coming in.
Oh, it makes sense. So, would you ever consider maybe AI doing the voice ordering for you?
No,
Fair.
I don't know. It depends, but I can't stand not talking to someone on the phone. Like when I call, I just want to talk to somebody. I don't want to hit the number 2 to talk to anyone. So I couldn't imagine doing that to my customers.
Well, it's a good thing you don't work at Donato's Pizza then. So PMQ Pizza reports Donato's roll out AI voice ordering platform across 174 locations. So it is exactly what you think it would be. So they're sunsetting DoorDash, which had kind of its own AI platform, and they're using AI to basically replace those people answering the phone and kind of basically goes from an AI order to de facto online order. So interesting, yeah. So thoughts. I think you said right. Would you ever consider? It just seems so impersonal to me.
I mean, it has to be super sophisticated to the point where, like, it is not an inconvenience. Because when I have to hit one prompt, I immediately am frustrated. So I think we've just been conditioned to not to want to talk to people. If I'm calling, I want to talk to a person. If those people aren't able to answer the phone, then you go to the website. Although sometimes people will call our other location and say the phones aren't working. And we're like,
What
no,
are you
you
doing?
just turn them off.
No,
It means
we
we're not
just
taking orders.
yeah, we want you to use technology. Yeah, I agree with you, right? I've used ChatGPT and other AI models, but what's the thing where like, hey, I want to order a just pepperoni pizza, right? Will AI remove all the cheese and sauce from your right? I mean, the margin for error I feel is odd. I feel people get very frustrated with
Yeah.
AI.
I don't know. I mean, maybe because then maybe there's like again, it has to be sophisticated, right? So I call, I leave a voicemail, it sends me a confirmation email or something, and or a text, and I hit confirm. Like I can review the order before it goes through. Like maybe there's something that I'm just like missing around it, but to just say, hey, let's give it to AI. I mean, we ask 100 questions and we don't even do modifications.
Well,
Like I couldn't imagine.
and that's it. And the other thing that maybe I'm too afraid of Skynet, but you give your credit card information to AI seems right. So your security must be massive, right? You're not giving it to a person who's typing it in immediately forgets it, right? So I feel like there are layers to this. I'm sure they've all been vetted, but
Sure.
like you said, I think clearly they must think the benefit outweighs the risk. I just if that have a central call center somewhere, right? You could do that probably for less. I don't think anyone's like, "Ooh, it's AI. I want to order denials." I don't see that being a customer attractor. And with all the modifications, like you said,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the benefit is. I mean, I do think I've never like executed on it, but like part of me with like the labor costs and with like operating a business and not having the personnel and being short staffed and kind of getting against people's experience, I see a benefit in technology filling a lot of these voids. I just don't know if that is the right area like on the phone taking orders because people can already do it on their phone. They can already do it through an online order app. So like what what benefit would it be to call and then also get the online order? Is it easier for people to call and place an order? I don't
I don't
know
think
though.
so. I don't
Okay.
certainly not with modifications, and I don't see it. So you did say where would you see technology taking over? Where you see it could
So
be a benefit?
I think that I mean we use OpenTable as a platform for reservations and I've it's expensive but I've been happy with it and it has really cut down on like we still have to have a body at the host stand but they just smile and greet and seat like there isn't really much that they have to do. You know, my 12-year-old daughter will be doing that this summer. You just say, "Hi, your table's ready," or "Your table's not ready and it will be in 5 minutes," because like the technology is handling it. But even to get away from that and having someone like check in on a kiosk, I could see a benefit from. I mean, we have an area where you could like go to the counter to order takeout. And because of the size of our restaurant, you're standing in a bit of a gelato line to get to that. And if there was just like a kiosk at the front of the door where you could put your one margarita pizza in and it immediately shoots it to the kitchen, you're kind of missing that 14-minute queue. Although I love that they stand there because they generally buy ice cream anyway.
Right.
so
So maybe it's on purpose,
so
right? Because
I don't
like,
like
how are you
mind
gonna
it
not?
that much, but I think for convenience for the customer, they would see a benefit to that. And also, again, like it's not taking somebody away from the ice cream line to put the order in, or they come up to the counter to pay for it. And so I think like the flow of it would be better if there were like layers of technology, but not like something to answer a phone. I don't know.
Yeah, because that feels like the most critical part in the interaction, right? Is that
Yeah.
right? The ordering, and that's a part where you say you want some human interaction. If you're calling, you probably don't like technology, right? I'm
Yeah.
just listen. I know my parents, right? They're gonna call. They're not probably not gonna order online. So then to get an AI bot, I think would just kick them off even more, right? I feel like you're going to alienate. So, right? I feel like why would you put that in most critical? I like what you said, right? Use it in the order. You're in the shop. You're there, right? Use kiosks, use technology to streamline. That makes sense. But I don't even think that
I
make
just couldn't
AI would
imagine.
probably take longer.
I just know as a buyer, if I have to like repeat myself one time, it's
I'm
over.
done. I'm done.
I
Right.
can't do it. I have no time for that.
You got it. Wow. Well, quick articles this week. I think they were good ones. I love it. Anna, where can we find you and Mercurios on the internet?
We are on Instagram. It's at Mercurios PGH, and I'm at Anna.Crucitt.
Love it. I am Jim Cook's Food Good, wherever you get your content. Of course, please follow I Need Pizza Club on Instagram. Find us on YouTube. And please like, rate, subscribe, all those things you do to support podcasts. Again, this is a Pizza Roundtable. Once a week, we talk about the latest news and happenings on the pizza world. And please tune in next week for another awesome episode. Thank you, Anna.
Have a good night.